Hey, good morning, everybody. I want to wish everybody a happy Friday. It is 9:20 a.m. and let's get right into it. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warns of absolutely catastrophic hit to the economic recovery this summer if U.S. can't pay its bills on time. On Wednesday, Secretary Yellen asked Congress to extend a July deadline to pay back some of the federal debt. Without an extension, she warned of a catastrophic default that could hurt economic recovery. Some in the GOP have signaled they want spending cuts in exchange for increasing the debt ceiling. So it looks like the government does not know how to manage money. Interesting. U.S. Department of Justice recruiting crypto attorney. The U.S. Department of Justice is recruiting an attorney for cases involving cryptocurrencies as part of its larger effort to monitor the crypto market for criminal activity. This just really plays into the thing that, the crypto's not going anywhere. The fact that they're putting all this stuff in play, it's going to get regulated, but it's not going anywhere. If you have a real asset, you're fine. If you don't, well. Here we have some interesting videos on Squawk Box this morning. Let's go ahead and get into these.
If you're right, why are so many criminals using cryptocurrency to pursue these ransomware attacks? If in fact the old banking system was somehow an even less secure system, wouldn't they use that?
Well, Andrew, criminals are often beta testers of early technologies. And so I think there was, and I do think it is a myth, that Bitcoin was good for criminal activity. I think actually what you see now, the fact of the matter is you see investigators and prosecutors solving cases where crypto was used as the technology of choice by criminals. Colonial Pipeline attack that you just mentioned is a great example. It is unprecedented that the U.S. government would recover criminal proceeds from an international computer hacking crime in a month from the time it happened. Completely unprecedented. So I actually would say that, again, here, digital breadcrumbs, there are industries, by the way, there are industries, billion-dollar companies now are being built around blockchain analytics. There are several companies that the government uses. But stepping back to the larger picture of this fund, that's really just one use case, financial use cases. And what we see here is very exciting with the crypto economy is all of the other new kind of business models that are being created. And really, this is just we see it as democratizing participation in the financial system, but also for creators, content creators, artists. And so we're very excited, of course, in the financial use cases, but also in all of the other use cases. When some obsess about prices, we look at infrastructure. Back in 2018, we looked at Dapper Labs, the team behind CryptoKitties, while people were focused really on just one thing, the Bitcoin price. And, we made an investment in Dapper Labs, and now Dapper Labs is the team behind Top Shots, which is doing about $600 million of revenue a year. So there are real other businesses beyond just financial use cases in this space, and we're really excited to double down on those.
It's Katie Huan, people. She's with Andreessen Horowitz as a partner. She's on the Coinbase board of directors. Andreessen Horowitz is a very early investor in Ripple. These people know what's going on. Let's listen to some more.
Talk about what's happened, though, in China when it comes to Bitcoin and what you think it portends for the idea of decentralized currencies.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, with China, we've seen this movie before, actually. For some viewers might not remember this news who weren't following the space, but back in 2017, China made similar moves to kind of crack down on crypto. Back then, it was mostly directed at Bitcoin, and they banned actually digital currency exchanges in China from trading Bitcoin. In those days, it caused a market correction. People said the market correction going from around $4,000 per Bitcoin to in the $3,000 range. But, I was actually surprised this took them this long to do this time. Let me tell you why. China is actually all in on crypto. Make no mistake about that. Xi Jinping actually declared crypto and blockchain architecture as a top 5 national priority for China. So they are all in on crypto. They are all in on their brand of crypto, which is a closed permission system, kind of at odds with the open, decentralized protocols we see as the future of the crypto system. Bitcoin is one of those. And if anything, Andrew, I think China's moves really reflect kind of the staying power of open, decentralized crypto like Bitcoin, because we've seen this happen before. So I think China's going all in on crypto in a big way. And this is a real opening for Western societies, and the U.S. included, to lean in.
about.
Moving on. Jim Cramer coming in hot.
One of the things Katie said is that China is doubling down on crypto, and therefore we should do the same in the United States. And I know that's a little counter to what we've been talking about, and your concern about what China's doing with crypto right now.
Right. I mean, I think China, if Andrew's right, we just spoke to the most powerful woman in the United States, then China will say, okay, well, we have to disenfranchise her.
Most powerful woman in the United States. Interesting. XRP moving up to the top of the list, if you guys haven't noticed. It said Ripple for years they wouldn't call it XRP, and it was always right here. It's been working its way up on CNBC.
I think that the Chinese are not our friends. I think the Chinese are our enemy when it comes to this. And if we have billionaires who are trying to control a currency, well, then they'll just shut down that currency. They want their own currency. I mean, I think everyone who tries to game China fails. I think everyone who tries to game China should watch UnisU today with what they did with the paper. We know that when you shut down the free press, that's the beginning of the end. It's never been disputed. That is how an institution falls apart, or democracy falls apart. So what would they do? They'd listen to our network and decide, you know what? We like American billionaires and oligarchs, and we're going to support them in crypto. I mean, I think anyone who tries to game them is just, it's like there were a lot of people who tried to game a lot of totalitarian societies, and they've always been wrong. A totalitarian society can do whatever it wants.
And they will. Getting back to Andreessen Horowitz, after listening to Katie Huang talk, Andreessen Horowitz rakes in $2.2 billion for third crypto venture fund. It's probably the VC industry's largest crypto-related fund to date. The fund was initially rumored to be $1 billion, and later reports put it at $2 billion. The announced amount would suggest now is a good time to be raising money for crypto investments. This fund allows us to find the next generation of visionary crypto founders and invest in the most exciting areas of crypto. Katie Huang wrote in the blog post. We invest in all stages, from early seed projects to fully developed later stage networks. Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z, has been among the most active investors in the crypto industry in years. As an early investor in Coinbase and Ripple, it reaped enormous profits for our limited partners when the crypto exchange went public in April. You're going to see with some of these articles coming up, I mean, there's a lot coming on in crypto, guys. This thing's not going away. Don't believe that narrative. It's not financial advice, just how I'm looking at it. Winklevoss Gemini acquires $4 million in carbon credits for the Bitcoin that it holds. In recent articles, Bloomberg has reported that the twins, Cameron and Tyler, that own the Gemini exchange, have purchased $4 million worth of carbon credits to cover the Bitcoin it holds for customers. The Winklevoss twins support the green Bitcoin trend. Elon Musk has set the green Bitcoin trend, and China joins Elon Musk with miners are leaving for other countries. China has started clamping down on crypto miners, depriving them of access to energy and forcing many of them to leave the country for Canada and other friendly jurisdictions. Maryland, Texas, Kazakhstan. FTX follows Binance's lead and moves into tokenized stocks. FTX will allow users to trade tokenized stocks of companies such as Facebook, Google, Netflix, Nvidia, PayPal, and Tesla. The tokenized stocks will be made available to FTX during the initial launch, and Switzerland-based digital assets will be providing this tokenized stock infrastructure. Early this year, Binance started doing pretty much the same thing. FTX said buyers and sellers in permitted jurisdictions will be able to trade and withdraw around 55 free-floating stocks. Stocks of Facebook, Google, Netflix, Nvidia, PayPal, Square, and Tesla will be among those available. FTX is always looking to provide cutting-edge products to its users. DAG's tokenized token infrastructure will help facilitate a paradigm shift in the underlying market structure, and we're excited to continue working with Solana and DAG to set the standard in the industry. Solana, you guys will be hearing a lot about them recently, too. The chatter is heating up. Here's Stefan Huber saying, no matter how many fairy tales of volcanological energy or thermodynamical soundness the Bitcoin maxis try to sell you, and how many times they pray their mantra of eternal anti-regulation for Bitcoin, the future doesn't look that flowery anymore. And why he's saying that is financing a stable global recovery. And you will see in everything that they are talking about, climate change, climate risk, future of market-based carbon pricing, U.S.'s new climate change strategy, climate change reporting, latest development in fraud and money laundering, role of private financing in achieving net zero, climate change, energy transition, global framework for climate change, greening the financial system, financial regulation, the role of international standards in moving back towards convergence. So there's a lot of stuff going on that we're going to be paying attention to because a change is a coming. Real XRP Boy posted this, and this was a pretty good exchange here. Check this out.
Interpretation of the facts. I find it interesting that it is almost impossible for Anthony and others involved in this space to not make the appeal to authority, right? Mark Cuban is doing it. Elon Musk is doing it, right? I'm encouraging people to think for yourselves, right? And ask yourself, really, is there a 1% chance that the US government is going to choose to give up its access and its control of the monetary system to embrace Bitcoin as a reserve asset, given that, as I described and Pomp was unable to refute, $7 billion per year could turn this system into a smoldering heap of garbage, right? It's not hard to do. The fact that they haven't done it yet should be warning you that they have something else planned, right? This is not difficult. And nobody has been able to come back and say, well, here's the reason why that can't happen, right? This is a system that is designed to appeal to people's economic
So there's that. Pomp didn't look that comfortable with that. Court has granted Ripple access to SEC's internal trading policies on XRP. Judge Nebern has granted Ripple's request to force the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission to reveal its non-public policies regarding whether an agency employees may buy and sell XRP and other cryptocurrencies, according to a screenshot of a new legal filing shared by the lawyer representing XRP holders. Earlier this month, Ripple sought the SEC's policy governing SEC employing trading in or purchase of digital assets and virtual currencies, including all changes and updates to these policies. The SEC and Ripple have been in an impasse over the agency's internal documents, with the SEC arguing that they were irrelevant to the litigation and would not lead to the discovery of relevant evidence. Ripple contends the policies could reveal the SEC's stance on digital assets, including any distinctions it may draw between XRP and other cryptos such as Bitcoin and Ether. Ripple's lawyers are arguing that those facts are relevant to the company's fair notice defense, which they are, and applications of the Howey test as to whether Ripple and co-defendant Brad Garlinghouse and executive chairman Chris Larson offered and sold XRPs as securities. In her rulings, Judge Netburn, who is presiding over discovery, noted that SEC has already begun to produce documents related to Ripple's earlier request for internal agency communications about Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP from the agency's FinHome electronic mailbox, as well from its Office of Investor Education Advocacy. Chris Larson and co-defendants are allegedly aiding and abetting Ripple's violations. The lawsuit is in discovery, and with the SEC and Ripple battling over the information to be shared with the other side. Fact discovery and expert discovery are to be completed by August 31st and October 15th, respectively. Separately, XRP holders have asked the court to include them as third-party defendants in the lawsuit, arguing that the SEC is not adequately representing their interests, which their whole mantra is investor protection. Do you feel protected? They are represented by attorney John Deaton, who shared a portion of the latest SEC vs. Ripple court documentation in a tweet. Moving on, if the SEC complies with the request for the production of documentation on the agency's policies governing SEC employees, it would show that the SEC itself has categorized and classified Ripple's XRP as a digital asset similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Pay attention, people. This is building. Ripple aims to bring a former SEC member to court to testify. That individual could be former SEC Chair Clayton. It could be William Hinman. It could be anybody. Meanwhile, the SEC is attempting to block said request. And I believe they go to court about that on Monday. And to end on a cool note, blockchain.com introduces username-based crypto transactions. They have teamed up and integrated with Unstoppable Domains, and as you guys know, that is how I receive most of my crypto, is on trueperception.crypto. If you have a supporting wallet, that is all you need. No more long no more long addresses, the alphanumerical addresses. So that is pretty awesome. It's a very easy way to simplify all your wallets onto one platform and get them all, get everything organized. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys later.